Hey guys, and welcome back. Deftspider here again. So I just finished editing and getting the day 3 tutorial episode uploaded, and it occurred to me I didn't go over some of the most important things which should have been covered on day 0 or day 1, which would be the menu when you first start the infected. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover that, then we'll load into the game and we're gonna go over the options menu just based on some questions I've had in the stream and some things I've seen in Discord. So as you can see, I've got the game loaded already. And this is just the initial opening screen once you start the infected. So from here, if you hit new game or load game, you get the same menu. Like here in load game, you'll get your saves, and you can see I've got a lot of different playlists going, and several different series playing right now. So that's why I have so many saves. But the current one that I'm using is help vids for everybody. So when you hit new game or you go to load your game, you're presented with a lot of options. And these options do different things. So like on swarm frequency, that's when you're first going to get attacked. So if you set it for every 3 days, you're going to get hit. You're going to start getting blood moons and various other things. Blood moons happen at 12 a.m. And you'll get hit by initially 3 zombies, I believe, or vampies. And then after that, you get +1 to like a maximum of 15. And you can adjust that if you want. There are a lot of people that play with like no threats in the game. They turn off vampies, they turn off the predators, and just so they can get their base started and built up before the first winter, or just because they don't want to deal with those. I recommend leaving the swarms on and even enabling them to the maximum. Just because when you shoot and kill the vampies, they can drop some good stuff. Like they can drop you 6 iron ore, they can drop you 6 pieces of clay, just things that are a little bit harder to get. So if you want to, like I said, here is where you can choose how often you get the swarm. So you can get one every day, you can get one every 5 days, every 10 days. I probably would not do every day. I mean, that's just a little intense. Unless you just really need iron and you don't feel like mining rocks. Every 3 days and every 5 days to me seems pretty good. That's where I like to stay at. I think I usually set mine for 5 days. But right now we're playing on 3 days. Just because that's the standard setting. If you want to, you can disable it here, and that means you won't be hit by the swarm. If you get hit by the swarm and it's 12 a.m., say you're trying to sleep through the night, get some energy back, and then all of a sudden your guy just wakes up, you'll hear the music in the game change, the sky will turn red, and that means there's a swarm coming. When the swarm comes, they come from all directions, and if you're, say, inside your house, they'll attack it from every direction. If you fence your house off, they'll attack the fencing. I personally don't fight inside my base. I fight outside and I just kite them and kill them with a bow. And I'll have some videos up on my blood moons that are maxed out here soon. I just want to run a few more so there's enough footage. And then from there you can also enable and disable predators. You know, just hit the drop down menu and you can choose enable or disable. That'll get rid of the bears, the wolves, the foxes. And then you can turn off the vampies because you do have wandering vampies. And if you turn this off, this right here does not affect the swarm attack. As you can read in the description, it says enable or disable all vampies, both wandering and military camp guarding vampies. So this would disable them in the villages if you wanted to get the blueprints really easy. I know some other streamers and YouTube content creators do this just to get their blueprints quicker and easier. So if you disable this and all these other settings, there's nothing in the game that can kill you except for temperatures and starving yourself. Alright, so with everything still set to the standard setting, the way I like to play, we will go ahead and load into this game, which is the one that we've been working on if you've been keeping up with the day 1 through 3 videos so far. And it might take a second to load. I've been building a lot, so just give it a minute. I know the screen's dark. Hopefully y'all aren't scared of the dark. And it might take mine just a second longer. I've got some video stuff running in the background, so my computer might be being a little bit slow. Alright, so we're loaded into the game. Sorry, that little wiggle was just me touching my mouse. And yeah, so this is the base I've been building, or my initial house. As you can see, I've made a lot of changes. I went ahead and made like a porch all the way around. I like the way it looks. And went ahead and completed it. The windows will come in probably, let me think, those will be built. I should be building those out in episode 4 when we go over iron ingots and how to make glass. But so far, this is probably one of my favorite houses I've built so far. I do have a whole village built on my main save if y'all check out the other playlist. And look at my, I'm trying to think, I think right now I only have village episode 1 up, but I'll go over my whole village there and my main camp, or my original main camp. But yeah, so I mean, this isn't a bad starter building. It's not large, it's not massive. Storage is going to be a little bit limited. You can fight Vambies up here, but I wouldn't advise it because these don't have a lot of hit points. They only have 50. So they'll probably rip the pillars down and rip down these wood railings. They should technically go straight for the stairs, but sometimes they'll get stuck. Alright, so the purpose of this video though is we're going to go over the actual options menu, as we have a Vambi that's just wandering by over here. So once you hit like day 5, day 3 to 5, they start wandering around. And the best way to kill these guys early on before you have the bow is just throw the spear at them, hit them in the head. Let me go ahead and harvest that body. And see, he brought us 3 iron fragments. So with 5 iron fragments, we can actually smelt an iron ingot once we get a forge built. But again, that's not the purpose of this video. In this video, we're just going to go over the menu. So you hit escape to access this menu. From here, you can do resume. You can save your game. The game does not autosave. A lot of people did not know that and have like played for hours on end. Like I'm talking 10 plus hours. And they didn't save. They just went straight to quit. So you always want to save your game. Save it frequently, especially if your computer's not high end or maybe it's having issues with the game a little bit. Just save a lot. If you die or something, if you die, you shouldn't lose your progress. You'll just, if you have a bed built, you'll respawn to that. If you have multiple beds, you can actually choose which one to spawn at. If you don't have a bed, you'll just randomly spawn. So like I said, always remember where your base is at because it's not marked on the map. And then again, let's go back to the menu. So in the menu, you have the resume, which obviously just takes you straight back into the game. Save, which you'll see in the top left corner, it says saving, and that'll save your game. You have quit. So if you hit quit, it's always going to give you that warning. Are you sure you wish to quit? Have you saved? You have to hit yes, then you'll quit the game. And then we have options. So under options, the things here to note, obviously you have your basic settings here for audio as you look at the tabs on the left side. So with these, you know, you can just adjust everything in the game to get your audio settings right. Most people don't mess with these unless you make YouTube content or something and you just want to adjust the volume so it doesn't overpower your video. Under video, here is where you usually see most people going to, and it's where you can control your foliage density. You can turn it from epic to medium and to low. At low, nope, you can hit once you adjust that, hit apply, then hit OK, and then hit escape to leave the menu. And this is low foliage. It pretty much takes away all the grass, so you can see everything you can collect on the map: sticks, stones, vegetables, any rocks laying around. Just pretty much everything in sight is something that you can interact with, or a permanent object. So we're going to go back into options. And then you have your post-processing, your shadow quality, texture quality, max frame rates. Mine's just set to 60 right now because it's better for recording purposes. My monitor actually goes up to 240. But if you record at 240 then output the video and stuff, it gets a lot of blur issues. I found that recording at 60 is better. So if anybody who's watching this has YouTube content, I've actually found better video quality just from recording at the actual output of what my videos will be at. So when I upload to YouTube, it's at 60 frames per second. So then from there, I mean, you've got your resolution scale. Like, I don't really mess with any of these. The only thing I ever touch is foliage density, which is the only thing most people are concerned with, and that's just because it makes it easier to see things. I usually play on medium, and if you go to medium, you can, like, say, okay, real quick too, while you see how I can move this screen around, that just means I hit escape without doing apply and okay. So you just hit escape again, it'll lock it back into place, then you can hit apply and okay, and then resume. So this is medium setting, and then we'll go to the epic quality, and as you see, it doesn't add a lot here because this is a flat terrain. But if you get out farther into the forest and start heading across the landscape, you'll notice a huge difference in being able to see things. The other thing that concerns people, like here, you can also adjust obviously your resolution for the screen. I keep mine just basic standard. I haven't had any issues with this. I don't lag. I don't. For my computer, these settings are perfect. And then we can go to camera. And that's just your sensitivity, you know, as far as moving around and everything. You can change it up if you don't like the way it is to pretty much invert everything. I personally leave that the same. And then here's probably the next most important screen that people have been interested in. Is a lot of people don't like the controls in this game because it's a little bit different than a lot of others. But if you don't know how to do something, or you can't figure out how to, say, open your inventory, or I don't know, just basic movements, you can come here and it'll tell you what buttons are linked obviously to what it does. Like once you build the helmet, if you press L, you can turn on and off the flashlight. That's one of the big ones to know. Map, you know, M key, how to split your items, which is 2 different ways to do that. Upgrading buildings, and just, you know, various different things. And from there though, if you want to, if you highlight one of these, like say we wanted to change our slot 1 weapon to something besides the 1 key, we can actually click it and then just, let me refresh that real quick. You can click it and then hit whatever key you want it linked to. You just have to hit it while that blue bar is loading at the bottom. So, you know, we change it to 7 key. Right, I like leaving mine on standard. That's just the way I've been playing the whole time. I know every game is different, so I just learn every game as I go. But a lot of people like to open their inventory using the tab key instead of reaching across the keyboard to hit I. And this is where you would change that. Like open inventory here is currently I. So if you wanted to change that, you can just press that. Well, you have to refresh it, then press that, hit tab, and now it would be tab that would open my inventory. I don't like that. I like to keep it at standard, so I'll just reset mine. Which of course it goes to the left mouse button, but that is the quick and dirty on how to adjust your game settings. And like I said, I like mine just playing standard, the way the game is made. It's better for me because my content's mostly on how-to guides, and since a lot of players may not play other survival games, or this is the first one, or they just don't want to mess with the settings, because if you do get into adjusting your tab key, it messes with other things that you're going to have to adjust. Like here, tab can actually move you. If you watch the top of my screen, you see the little box moving. So if tab opens your inventory and closes it, it's going to mess with it when you come into here, because your tab's going to start moving around. So that's one other thing you have to adjust. But I just wanted to cover that, and this will be a day 0 video, like I said, because it's something I should have covered a lot sooner. And that's just to help people out who have asked me various questions, like I said, on my YouTube channel or on my Twitch during a live stream, or in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, you should join there. The dev gives a lot of updates, and he'll answer a lot of questions there in person. Besides that, if you like this video and other content, you know, be sure to like and subscribe. And you can catch me on Twitch and on my YouTube channels. And I have various videos there just covering every little thing you could imagine. If you have any questions, you know, just feel free to comment below if I don't cover it. But I can almost guarantee that I have a video going over it. Well, besides that, I hope everyone has a great Christmas, because this video is has been made on Christmas Eve. And I'll see y'all back in the new year.